First of all, I have received a number of cards from you. All the cards I have received, I have marked. And I have returned them to the specific individuals' emails. If you can check there, I have received Apollonia, I've received Fidel, Carissa, Kaisire, Manzi, Betty, Jerome, Jacqueline, Valentine, Marie-Rose, Egi, Vancon. Those are the ones I've received and I have marked and I've returned. And I keep them. I keep them here. After I mark them, I keep them with me, a copy of that I can present to the director if he wants to confirm that I've actually marked it. And then I also give the marks themselves to the director. So it is a serious exercise, my friends. It is a serious exercise and it is for your own good. So those who have not done so, please remember, it is not for the benefit of Valentine or for Egide or for Carissa. It is for you specific individual. It is for your own benefit. So do that and you'll find passing this ICPR examination will be very simple. Where you have gone wrong, you can always ask and I will guide, and it will be easier for you now to understand and do the right thing when it comes to the examination. Fine. And next week, God willing, I should give you Cat 2. And that will be now on other areas which I will not have examined you. Example, I will give you some question on meetings. I'll give you some question on what do you call them, debentures, and any other thing that we will not have been examined in the Cat 1. And it is a benefit, it is an advantage. Sawa. Any question? Is there anybody with any question? We can give the others some 5 minutes to join. If you have a question, you can ask very fast as we give the others 5 minutes, and then we proceed. Remember, the weekend, Saturday, we have a double class. So remember, we have our double on Saturday. If you have any question, you can ask now. Otherwise, we'll continue from where we stopped last time. We were looking at meetings and we said a meeting is the coming together of a quorum of members to discuss the business of the company. And we said the rule that governs meetings is the rule in Sharp versus Deus, where we are told that you cannot have a meeting of one person. A meeting must be of a quorum. And unless our articles of association are giving us a different figure, if our article says 7 is a quorum, 7 is a quorum. If our article says 5 is a quorum, 5 is a quorum. If our article is silent, then quorum is 2. Okay? We will understand the meaning of quorum. It is one of the elements. So then we said that I'm using the link the whole hour. The whole hour, who is this who has been waiting for the whole hour? We have just started the class now. Yeah?
It's me, Betty, sir. I thought
Betty.
We would start at 5.
Hey.
And then, yeah.
Did
so
we
that's
say,
why I was.
Oh, did we say we are starting at 5? I don't think. I think we said it's normal time, 6 o'clock. I'm sorry for that, but we just started. I am late. I am late about 5 minutes. We started at 6, about 6 or 5. Hey. Have you received your cut?
I'm in now.
Okay, you have received your cut?
I received.
You have seen, yes, sir. You have seen where you went wrong, where you did not explain?
Yes.
Okay, sawa. Yes, sawa. If you want, you can do it and send it again. Then I can look at it again. No problem.
Okay.
Okay, so let us continue from here. Then we said that even though we are told a meeting is the coming together of a quorum of members to discuss the business of the company, and it should not be one person, we said there are exceptions. And we said there are actually 6 exceptions. And the first exception, we said, a director's meeting. If our company has only one director, if it is a private company, a company must have board meetings. So if our company has only one director and a company must have board meetings, then our company will be having a board meeting of one person. Okay? So we said there is that exception. Also, we talked about class meetings. But when we talk about class, we're talking about people, we're talking about members, shareholders of a particular class. The ordinary shareholders in our company are 7. Preference shareholders in our company are 4. But those having founders shares, we only have one person. That person will be having a meeting, one person as a class of founders shares, and so on and so forth. We talked about this. Then now we want to look at the elements of a meeting. What are these things that form a meeting, that without them we cannot have a meeting? What are these things that make us say we are drinking tea? We will need tea leaves. We will need water. We will need to heat that water. We may add sugar, we may not add sugar. We may add milk, we may not add milk. In fact, you don't even need to put that tea on the fire. We also have iced tea. But the thing is, you must have tea leaves, you must have water. So what are these components of a meeting? What are these tea leaves and water, etc. of a meeting? Number 1, notice. Elements of a meeting. A meeting cannot be valid, it cannot take place unless, number 1, it has a notice. What is a notice? My friends, how did we know we have a class today? We knew we have a class today because we were given a notice that on a Tuesday we shall have a class.
Please,
now,
sir.
Yes, please.
We don't see the screen. I don't know why.
You are not seeing the screen?
Yes,
Okay,
we see the name of participant.
We are still looking at there. We have left participants. So elements of the meeting, number 1 is the notice. The same way we have been given a notice that we have a class today, the same way you'll be given the notice at your office that you will have a meeting with the manager, with the director, with the supervisor. A meeting must have a notice. And the notice must be written. A notice must have been presented in writing. In writing, so that we have evidence. Okay? And that notice must be dated and signed by the person giving the notice. The person who will give the notice is who? The company secretary. Okay. Now, generally, a general meeting must have minimum 21 days notice. So if we are supposed to have a general meeting in our company, the earliest we can have our general meeting will be on 22nd of March. That is the earliest we can have a general meeting. 22nd of March, because 22nd we will be having how many? 21 days. In fact, it should be 23rd of March. Minimum 21 days. If we want, we can have more than 21 days. We can have 30 days. We can have 35 days. But we should not have a very long period because of what? People can forget. So you cannot give a notice of 60 days or of 100 days. People will forget. There are so many things people do, they will forget. Now, there are exceptions where we can have less than 21 days. If all the members agree that let us have less than 21 days, this is an emergency. We cannot wait for 21. Let us give it 7 days. Let us give it 5 days. Sawa. All the members have agreed. That is unanimous. We will go for it. Alternatively, if holders of not less than 95% of the capital of the company say that we should have a meeting less than 21 days, then we have to respect them. The majority will carry the day and we have to respect them. Now, if it can be proved that we were supposed to have the meeting, people were given a notice, but you in particular, Jose, you did not receive the notice, then you can go to court and challenge that meeting. So there was a meeting last week, you were never given a notice. It should be that they sent you a notice, but you did not see it. No. That is your problem now. If they sent you a notice on your mail, but you did not check your mail, or you did not have Mainite to open your email, that is your problem. We are saying it must be clear that they did not. They jumped to your name, they skipped your name, and they gave others. You can go to court and say, I did not get notice, my friend. Even if in that meeting, they passed 10 resolutions, the court will tell the company secretary and management, you must hold another meeting. All the resolutions you made are null and void. Call this particular member who is complaining and hold another meeting. Now that is what is going to happen. So a notice of a meeting is mandatory to all members. Remember, it is part of your what? Individual membership rights. The right to notes and docs, notices and documents. Okay? Sawa. Then, what we have just said here now is failure to give a notice to any member, even if it's only one member, it makes that entire meeting a nullity. It makes it null and void. Now, the notice must have specific things. One, the notice must have a date, of course. The notice must tell us what type of a meeting is this. Is it an extraordinary general meeting? Is it the annual general meeting? Is it a class meeting? It must have an agenda. What is an agenda? What are the matters we are going to discuss in the meeting? We want to discuss our project in Musanze. We want to discuss the removal of Director Peter. We must know what we are going to discuss. If there is any information we must look at in advance, e.g., if it is a general meeting, annual general meeting, if it is the annual general meeting, my friends, you are given the annual report. You are given all the information in that notice that we are having our annual general meeting. This is the information. So they give you a brief sketch of the information concerning the performance of the company. So that when you get to the meeting in 21 days, already you have looked at that information, you are ready with questions on areas which are not making sense to you. If you need to do some reference and go to the library or go to the internet and check this and check that, if you need to do some physical checking of certain things, maybe they are saying there is a new building which has been constructed in Nyagatare. If you have time, you can go to Nyagatare and you check before the date of the meeting, so that when you will come to the meeting, you can now challenge the management and tell them, I went to Nyagatare, I checked, I did not see that building. You people are Croatia. So you must be given that information in advance so that you can prepare to do what? To discuss with knowledge. Okay? And also, if there are some resolutions which are to be passed, of course, there will be those resolutions which will be passed at the meeting itself. But if there is already in the mind of the management, the board of directors, they would like us to pass a resolution on A, B, or C, they should also state in that agenda that we are intending to pass a resolution on our project in Musanze, our project in Huye, and so on and so forth. So that by the time you're getting there, you are well equipped. Okay. The next. In that notice also, it is important, in that notice, we must also get a proxy form. Okay? There must be a proxy form in the notice. What is a proxy form, my friends? Companies are given the ability that when you, Jose, or Peter, or Michael, you are unable to attend the meeting for whatever reason. Maybe you are sick in hospital. Maybe you have been sent by your employer to Belgium or to Nairobi, and the meeting is there in the next few days. You can still get somebody to go and represent your interests. Now, the person who will represent your interests when you are away, the agent, you will give power to attend the meeting only as a proxy. We are going to discuss proxy. A proxy is actually one of the elements, okay? So we're going to discuss proxy. A proxy is simply an agent appointed by a member to attend a meeting on behalf of that member. The notice of the meeting must have a proxy form. A proxy form is simply a document which will be included in the notice, and that document, if I want Maria to attend the meeting on my behalf, because I will be in Kampala, I sign that proxy form and it is written, I, Peter Rukundo, I am member number 47. I am giving proxy authority to Wamaria Jose, member number 50, to attend the general meeting at Butare and participate on my behalf. So you give that authority and you sign. Wamaria will go to that meeting on that day. She will present it to the company secretary. She will be allowed to enter that meeting and attend to whatever is happening. We will discuss proxies in a few minutes. It is one of the elements, okay? Then number 2, chairman. A meeting without a chairman is void. A meeting must have a chairman. This word chairman is very colonial. Nowadays, we do not use the name chairman. Nowadays, we use chairperson. We use chairperson, or we can simply say chair. Because when you talk of a chairman, what about Mary Mbabazi? She's not man. What about Jeanette? She's not man. So this was a very colonial British style of calling a person in charge. So we either call it chairperson or a chair. But if you want to write chairman, sawa, it's okay. A meeting must have a chair. The first chair of the meeting automatically is the chairman of the board. The chair of the board of directors automatically becomes the chair of any general meeting. Okay? However, it is possible that the chair of the board is sick in hospital. Maybe he has traveled to South Africa. Maybe he is the one we want to discuss in the meeting, so he cannot be the chair. If that officer cannot be as a chair, then the next person we think of is who? Any one of the members of the board. Any one of the directors present at the meeting can become the chair of that meeting. So the board will pick from among themselves. There is the managing director, there is the director finance, there is the director research and development. Let us pick one of us. Okay, we pick director research and development. He becomes the chair. If none of these directors is able to become chair for whatever reason is there, that maybe one, our company may be having one director and the guy is not there. Or number 2, it is these directors we want to talk about. Or number 3, they just don't want. Then it is now upon the members present to pick from among themselves any one person to act as a chair for that particular meeting only. So we are going to look around and we say, now, what do we do? And we check and we say, aha, Theogene is there. Let us pick Theogene. And Theogene says, okay, Sawa, I can do it. And Theogene comes and sits in front with the company secretary. He's now in charge of the meeting. A chair of a meeting must be appointed within 15 minutes. Within 15 minutes. If within 15 minutes we don't have, then it will be upon the members to now decide and pick any one of them. If we don't have a chair by 30 minutes, that meeting stands adjourned. The meeting comes to an end. By 30 minutes, we have wasted time, nothing is happening, the meeting ends. Okay? So, now, the chairman has powers to do many things. This is the person in charge to ensure that there is order, there is discipline. You know, sometimes matters we are going to discuss in the company are very delicate. It's about investment, and some of us do not like a certain investment. Some of us do not like a certain director or a certain manager. So sometimes things can be very heated. Things can be very heated. Sometimes people are almost fighting in the general meeting. So the chairman, the chairperson must be a person who can call order in the meetings. Tell people to respect each other. Tell people to follow the rules. He is the person to tell the people, okay, Peter, you have spoken. We have given you 5 minutes. Now, let Jose also speak. He is the person to say, now we have discussed for 2 hours. It is the time we close the discussions and we do what? And we decide to vote. So he's the same person who will say, it is now time for voting. He's the same person, after we have voted, he will ask the secretary, how many votes are for the yes? How many votes are for the no? He's the one to declare which side has won. If we have 2 sides, the yes have 14, the no have 14, then, you know, we need a decision. So that is a draw. There are no penalties in a meeting. Yeah, we're not going to have you call them what? The penalties, like what was happening with the Chelsea and the Liverpool the other day. We don't have such. So how are we going to decide? It is 14-14. The chair has the power to say, okay, this one is 14-14. Can we vote again? Can we take 10 minutes and we try to convince each other? After 10 minutes, can we vote again? So we take 10 minutes and members now freely start talking to each other. So I come from where I am sitting and I call Jose and I tell him, Jose, you know what? The best thing to do, let us vote yes because of ABCD. So we start convincing each other so that when we will vote again, it will not be 14-14. We want one side to be more. Then we vote again, we find we are still 14-14. The chair has the power to cast the deciding vote. What we call the casting vote. The casting vote, the vote which now decides. Because it is 14 saying yes, 14 saying no. And maybe we have tried it for 2 times. It is still 14-14. We need a winner. The chairman will then decide and go on one side. So he'll either go with yes. Yes will now be 15 and no will be 14. Or he'll go with no. No will be 15. Yes will be 40. So he gives the casting vote. The casting vote is the final decider. Okay? But this casting vote, it can only happen if our articles of association allow us to have the casting vote. If the articles of association do not allow our company to have a casting vote, then the chair has no power to give the last vote. Okay? The chair has the power to give casting vote if the articles of association of our company give any chair that power. If the articles don't, then it is unfortunate. That question, that resolution is lost. We cannot vote on it. We have to now do what? Throw it, and we might have to start afresh. We take time, people want to convince each other, and we do it again. Then, he is also the person to demand voting by poll. Now, we will talk about voting. Voting is another element. We are going to talk about voting. Voting is another element. However, voting by poll, voting is of two types. Okay? Voting is of two types. We have voting by show of hands. Voting by show of hands is when we say, okay, let us vote. How many are saying yes? I lift my hand. Jose lifts his hand. Mary does not lift her hand. Okay? So it is two are saying yes. One is saying no. Okay? Then how many are saying no? Maria lifts her hand. Jose has not lifted his hand. I have not lifted my hand. So saying no is one person. That is voting by show of hands. And voting by show of hands is the normal. It is the normal procedure of voting in a company general meeting. However, we also have the other type of voting, which is voting by poll. Voting by poll, we'll discuss it. It is one of the elements down there. It is voting by the number of shares that you have. Voting by the number of shares that you have. So if you, Peter, you have 30 shares and Jose has 10 shares, Peter can decide to vote all his 30 shares. And Jose, even if you vote your 10 shares, you have lost. So it is voting by the number of shares. And that is why, my friends, sometimes you realize that the majority shareholder made the decision. How did he make a decision? The guy has 50 shares and these other shareholders are 5 and each one of them has 4 shares. Majority shareholder will automatically win. However, in order to ensure that we do not have minority oppression, it is the chair who will suggest for this particular question, because people are not divided. People are not voting yes or no. We are going to have voting by poll, voting by the show of hands. We are going to discuss voting in a minute, okay? So the duties, the responsibilities of the chairman are many. It is the same officer who can decide that, okay, this meeting has ended, let us have another meeting on a certain day. This meeting has ended and the resolutions have been passed. So this is the person in charge. And my friend, this officer, he does not have to know, he does not have to understand the rules of meetings. He does not have to understand the procedure of meetings. There is a particular officer who sits next to him, and that officer is the one who guides. That officer is who? The company secretary. The company secretary. So the company secretary sits next to the chairman, and the company secretary is the one who will be advising the chair. This, according to the Companies Act, we should do this. This, according to our articles of association, we should do that. That is the job of the company secretary to advise the chairman, okay? So the functions and the duties, this guy, he must be advised very quickly, what is this meeting all about? So you don't stand taking care of your cows and you sit and you start, no. You must be advised by the company secretary. You must look at the agenda and you must be ready for it, okay? So this area, you can look through it just to understand what other things should this person be ready for, okay? Sawa. Then, next is quorum. Already we have seen what? Elements, number 1, notice. Number 2, chairman. Without a notice, no meeting. Anything that has been decided is void. Without a chairman, no meeting. Number 3, quorum. Now, what did we say quorum is? Quorum is the minimum number of persons who should be present in order for the meeting to start. A quorum is the minimum number of persons who should be present in order for the meeting to start. And the rule in Sharp versus Deus is telling us that quorum must be, a meeting must be, it must be a meeting of a quorum. Now, the quorum of our company shall be provided in our articles. So our company Alpha, our quorum can be 5 members. Your company Beta, your quorum may be 10 members. Company Omega, the quorum may be 3 members. Company Zeta, it may not have stated the quorum. If the quorum is not stated in the articles, the quorum is 2. Okay? The quorum is 2. And when we talk about quorum, the secretary is the one who is going to count. Let us count ourselves. And the secretary says, okay, there, we start there. That is Jose, that is Peter, that is Enrique, that is Theogene. He counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Our quorum in our articles is what? 5. And how many are we? 7. Sawa. We continue. And the chairman says, Sawa. We can proceed. So it is going to be the duty of the chairman to determine, is the quorum there? The secretary says, let me check. The secretary counts the chairman. We are 7 people and our articles say quorum is 5. We can continue. Chairman says, Sawa, let us continue. Okay. Now, when we are counting quorum, we will also count proxy. We will also count proxy. Because I was not able to attend the meeting, I had gone to Changugu. I had given Theogene my proxy form. Theogene is attending the class on my behalf. The secretary will count Theogene. Because Theogene represents me. Theogene is my agent, is my proxy. Okay? Then, quorum is only important at the beginning. Okay? Quorum is only important at the beginning of the meeting. So it is like this, when we start class. When we start class, let us say our quorum will be 10. Sawa? So if we are 7, we have to wait for others to come and join. If we are 10, we are quorum. If we are 11, we are quorum. If we are 30, we are quorum. Now, when we are starting the class, Sawa? Now, as we continue with the class, Jose may have a problem and he will have to leave class before time. So Jose goes to see his cousin in L'Hôpital. Wamaria decides, she's not feeling well. She's going to relax. So she goes to relax. Theogene decides, he has to go and drink amazi. He goes to drink amazi. If the quorum starts reducing as we continue with the meeting, we do not care. That is not our problem. It is just like when you take Ritiko bus, you want to go to Musanze. And then, or you take Volcano. You know, before it goes, the chauffeur ensures that all the seats are occupied. Especially the small buses, all the seats are occupied. Like Virunga. If you take Virunga at Nyabugogo, you are going to Musanze. All the seats must be occupied. So chauffeur checks, all of them are occupied. Chauffeur leaves. That is quorum. If by the time they get to Nyirangarama, 3 or 4 people have moved out of the bus, no problem, we continue. So quorum is only important at the beginning. If people start leaving the meeting, that is their problem. It shows they are not interested. Sawa? Okay. Then proxy. Proxy, we are saying the Companies Act allows a member to have somebody else to attend on his behalf. That somebody else attending on the member's behalf is a proxy. He is simply what? An agent of a member. Okay? And my friend, a proxy does not have to be a member. I am a member of company Alpha. I'm a shareholder. I have 10,000 shares. I'm supposed to attend the meeting in 21 days' time. I've received the notice. But now, in 21 days' time, I've just remembered, I cannot attend. Why? Because I should be in Egypt. There is a company meeting I should be attending in Egypt. But my cousin has come to visit, or my brother, Or my friend, I can tell my friend, now my friend, I know you are not a member of Company Alpha, but I understand you'll be around for a long period. So I am giving you this proxy form. On the 21st of March, please go to Chigali Serena. Company Alpha is holding a general meeting. Present this proxy I have signed, attend on my behalf. Okay? So a proxy that is an agent does not have to be a member of the company. Any person, as long as that person is an adult of sound mind, that person can attend. Now, a proxy is either general proxy or special proxy. Okay? There are two types of proxy, general proxy or special proxy. If you are a general proxy, it means when you attend the meeting, you can vote the way you want. When you attend the meeting, the first resolution on the agenda, the board wants members to pass a resolution on whether we should start another branch in Butare. So members are voting. Should we start another branch in Butare? Let us vote. How many are saying yes? How many are saying no? If you are, I have told you, it is me who is going to decide. Me, the original, the actual shareholder, the actual member. I will write in the proxy form that Wamaria is my proxy and she is a general proxy. So if you are a general proxy, when any matter comes for voting, you vote the way you want. So you can say yes if you want yes. You can say no if you want no. You use your own mind, you use your own thinking. But if I want you to vote in a particular manner, I don't want us to start a branch in Butare. I want us to start a branch in Nyanza. Then you'll be a special proxy that you must be voting either for or against a particular resolution the way I have told you. So you must do what I have told you. When they will talk about Butare, say no. When they will talk about increasing dividend, say yes. When they will talk about removal of Upita, say no. So you must do exactly what I have told you. Okay? And there will be many resolutions. There will be many resolutions. You don't pass one resolution in a general meeting. That meeting will not be serious. You pass many resolutions because the next meeting, it will take long before we have another meeting. So let us do as much as we can today. We pass as many resolutions as possible so that we can now relax and look to the future. Okay. Now,
please, sir.
Yes.
Come again with the general proxy.
General proxy, you can vote the way you want. I trust you. I trust you. I know you are a very intelligent person. You attend the meeting and vote the way you want. Okay? But special proxy, when it comes to closing the branch in Nyagatare, say no, we cannot close. When it comes to removal of Director Peter, say yes. So you follow my instructions in a special proxy. Now,
okay.
So the proxy will have the power to attend the meeting, and do anything that myself I could have done. Okay. Now, with a private company, I can only get one proxy. A private company, I can only have one proxy. Okay? So a private company, I can only appoint Peter to be my proxy or Mary to be my proxy. In a public company, I can appoint more than one. Okay? In a public company, I can appoint more than one. So the good thing is this, that in a public company, I know Jose is an accountant. So when they will be talking, when they will be discussing and passing a resolution concerning the balance sheet, I want Jose to vote on matters regarding the balance sheet, on matters regarding the performance of our company. So I tell Jose, you will be my proxy, but you'll be a special proxy. You will only deal with what? With this particular area, the balance sheet. And then Arise is a lawyer. When they'll be discussing about certain contracts of our company, I tell Arise, you are my special proxy. When they'll be discussing about the contracts with the Beka, the contracts with the Koje, I want you to vote, and I want you to vote in this manner. So you can give specific persons the proxy authority to deal with specific matters. If it is a public limited company, you can have more than one proxy. But if it is a private company, only one proxy is allowed. Okay? Sawa. I believe we understand what proxy is. Okay. The next, adjourned meeting. We briefly talked about adjourned meeting when we were talking about what? When we were talking about the exceptions to Sharp versus Deus. If we cannot have our class today, it means we have to move our class to another day. So to adjourn is to postpone. To adjourn is to postpone. That we cannot have it today, so let us have it another day. Now, let us understand this. If we cannot have our meeting today, and we say, let us have it on Friday, then the meeting we are going to have on Friday, that meeting of Friday is the one we call adjourned meeting, not the meeting of today. We were to have a meeting today. We cannot have it today. We are going to have it on Thursday. The meeting of Thursday is now the adjourned meeting. Okay?
Is it a transfer?
Hey, that we cannot meet today. Let us meet tomorrow. So the tomorrow is now the adjourned. Now, it is simply the continuation of an earlier meeting which could not take place. A meeting can be adjourned to another day because of many reasons. E.g., when we came to attend the meeting at Kigali Serena, the space was not enough. It was not enough space. We have 5,000 members and all of them came. And Kigali Serena, the space can only accommodate 3,000 members. Another one, we have the meeting, but the members are not respecting the rules. The members want to fight each other. The members are unhappy with certain things that are happening in the company. So there is a lot of disorder. The meeting cannot continue because there is no muriro. Maybe it was in the evening and there is no muriro. So we cannot have the microphone. We cannot have the electricity, the lights. The meeting cannot continue because we do not have a chairman. The meeting cannot continue because we do not have quorum. So there are many reasons why we may not continue with a meeting. If we cannot hold our meeting today, then automatically the meeting will be held. It is adjourned. It will be held next week on a Tuesday, 6 o'clock. The same time we were to have our meeting today, we count 7 days, and on that 7th day, the same time, the same place, we are going to have our meeting. So if we missed our meeting today for 6 o'clock at Kigali Heights, we are going to have our meeting on Tuesday next week, 6 o'clock, Kigali Heights. And the agenda must be the same. So when you adjourn a meeting, you do not give a different agenda. It is the same thing. You're going to discuss the same place, the same time, 7 days from today. If...
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
You said when you look at reasons that may lead to the
adjournment.
Yes, one of them is inadequate
Of space.
place of space.
Yes.
So if it's in this reason, is it a must that it has to be exactly in the same place?
If it is inadequacy of space, then if it is possible that at the same place there is more space, maybe in another room, or sometimes it can be that when we went there today, there was also another group. There was another group. Company Beta was also there, so they took the bigger hall. We were given the smaller hall, or the space was too small. We could not all fit in there. Maybe it is in a Amahoro Stadium, and there is another group there also. So if it is possible, we go back to the same place. If it is not possible, then we will have to take a different place. So that one is an exception. That one is an exception.
Okay.
Yes. Now, the other thing is this. If our meeting cannot take place next week, it is possible. There are some things which happen. For example, we did not know. I remember, was it in February 2020? When did we start this corona problem? We were supposed to come to class on Sunday at Chigali. We used to have physical classes. So I was preparing. I used to live in Chimihurura. So coming from Chimihurura, I want to go and take a motor. Director calls me. Hello, you know what is happening? Sunday morning, what is happening? Government has said there is this problem of corona, so we should not have any movement until we get further advice. My friend, I went back to the house. It was very disappointing. I went back to the house and I sat there. So you may want to have that meeting, but then it is not because of your decision. It is because of other external factors. Maybe a government policy, the government wants to protect us, it is giving a different policy. Maybe an act of God. You know an act of God? An act of God is things like what? Maybe there is an earthquake. Maybe there is a thunderstorm. There are all funny things which happen in life. If the meeting cannot take place for a long period, if it cannot take place for more than 30 days, then the law says that we must have a new notice. Remember, there was a time when we were working from home. Yes, very recently, when the numbers of corona victims was very high, the government said, nobody's going to the office, people will work from home. If such a thing happens, it means we cannot hold our meeting. We cannot go to Amahoro. We cannot go to any other place. We sit at home. So if it is longer than 30 days, we will require another new notice when we will ever have a meeting. Okay. Then.
Sorry, sir.
Yes.
I was lost. What's the meaning of Suomoto?
Suomoto. Suomoto is by himself. Suomoto is by himself. Suomoto is here with the chairman. Where is that? Chairman. Adjourning the meeting, Suomoto. That here, that there are times, especially if we talk about discipline, some members want to fight because they are saying, oh, a director has eaten the money of the company. Another member is saying that sometimes people can be very, very indisciplined. Sometimes because of lack of space. Sometimes because of an emergency. Yeah, maybe something has happened and there is nothing else we can do. The chairman can by himself. What means by himself? He does not have to ask anybody. He doesn't have to, like the president, if there is an emergency in Rwanda now, president will not have to ask somebody, can I do this or can I not do this? No, he has the power because he is caring for the Batulaje. He will have the power to say, because of this, then we are taking this position. So there are those situations where, yes, there are those situations where by himself, by his own authority, because this is the chairman, he can make a decision. Yes. Yes. But then we are being told the chairman must ensure that Even when he is making that decision, he does it in good faith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Now, the next thing is voting. How do we pass resolutions? We pass resolutions through voting. So I will vote yes, you will vote no. Peter will decide he's not voting, and then the secretary will count and give the result to the chairman. So voting falls under what? Pender versus Lashington. Voting falls under the individual membership rights. That because you are a member of Company Alpha, you have the right to attend and vote. And you vote the way you want. You can vote yes, you can vote no. You can decide you will not vote. Okay? Suomoto, we have just explained now. Suomoto means by yourself. Yeah? By yourself. And if you are talking about the chairman, we are talking about by himself, without getting permission or advice from any other person. My friend, you are the one who decides if you want to drink amazi or you don't want to drink amazi. You are the one who decides if it is time for you to sleep or you don't want to sleep. So you decide suomoto. Suomoto by yourself, by himself. And in that case, you are saying that in cases where there is an emergency, in cases where there is indiscipline in the meeting, the chairman can decide by himself without asking anybody to advise him. He can just say, now, because of this, I am stopping the meeting. That is what you're saying. Okay, now, voting is a right which is given to a member through his individual membership rights, and nobody can take away that right. My friend, if I attend the meeting and you refuse me from voting, I will take you to court. Because I am the one who holds these shares. I am the one to decide what I should do with my interest in the company. Okay? And if I vote yes or no, and the chairman does not count my vote, I can take him to court. That is what happened in Pender versus Lashington. This guy voted, and then the chair decided not to count the vote so that the other side can win. The guy went to court, and the court said, hey, this guy has voted. Whether he has voted yes or no, you must count that vote. Even if he has lost, let us know that the winning side has got 10, the losing side has got 1. That 1 must be recorded. So that is the position of voting. Voting is your right. However, this idea of voting, we need to understand that if our articles of association...
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Before we proceed, I would like to ask you if, like, for example, that example that you gave us.
Yes.
But saying that even if 10 votes yes and 1 votes no.
Yes.
And the chairman refuses to count that 1 voice of no.
Yes.
And that person takes him to court.
Yes.
Then what happens to the resolution passed during that meeting? Do they care about the number of votes? They just cancel without caring about those numbers, because 1 and 10, it's obvious that 10 has.
Here you go. Sawa, yes. In that case, the resolution will be fine. The resolution will be fine. That 1 and 10, definitely 10 have won. Yeah. But for purposes of records, because these records, it is important, they should be there. For purposes of records, the resolution has passed, it is okay. But the chairman and any other person who stopped this person's vote from being written there is going to be fined. He will be fined because he has not performed his duty. Okay, and this person is going to be compensated. So he'll be compensated by the court because his vote was not written. The chairman will be fined by the court because he did not do his job. But the resolution is okay. Okay.
Is there specific fines that are provided by the, or it's just a matter of the court to decide?
The court will decide. The court will decide. But okay. there is always a ceiling. There is a ceiling. There is a maximum limit. If we check in the Companies Act, the last part, we can see the limits. It is not a lot of mafaranga. It is simply for purposes of telling the members of the company and the management that they must follow rules. You know, it is like this. If you are speeding, you are overspeeding your car. And then the police, traffic police stops you. And when they stop you, they give you a ticket that because you're overspeeding, you must be taken to court. My friend, you'll be taken to court and they can prove that you're overspeeding. But then when this officer gave you the ticket, you know what he did? He also slapped you. He slapped you. So my friend, what the policeman has done is wrong. He's not supposed to slap you. You are not fighting. You did not resist. He simply stopped you. When you stopped, he told you come out of the car. When you came out of the car, he gave you a very big slap, pop, and you fell down. And then he gave you a ticket. Sawa, you are going to be fined for overspeeding. But my friend, you can take this policeman to court because he has slapped you. So the ruling will be you have oversped. You pay the fine for overspeeding. But this guy will be punished for using excessive force on a citizen who was not resisting arrest. Okay. The next item is this, that when we talk about this voting, the articles of association of the company will tell us in which type of resolutions certain persons can vote. They will also tell us which types of shares can allow certain persons to vote. In other words, remember, if you can remember, we talked about employee shares. We talked about employee shares, and we said that with employee shares, they are not given a right to vote. We also talked about deferred shares, and we said deferred shares, they are not given the right to vote. Okay? So, this person who's an employee and he has employee shares, he will not have the right to vote. We are hoping that this person who's an employee, he also has ordinary shares. So if he also has ordinary shares, then he will vote on the ordinary shares. But as an employee, he cannot vote on the strength of the employee shares. So the articles also will limit the power of voting. Voting is of two types. Voting by poll, voting by show of hands. It is only those persons who are valid members of the company who can vote. Either you are a member of the company or you are a proxy of a member of the company. So if you are given the proxy form by Peter and Peter is a member of the company, you can vote. Okay? Sawa. Now, when it is voting by show of hands, it is the normal procedure. And voting by show of hands, it does not matter. Peter has 50 shares, Wamaria has 5 shares, no problem. They are equal. Wamaria has 1 vote. Peter has 1 vote. Okay? It is just like when you go to vote in the elections. You are an ordinary Muturaje, just like me. When you go to vote, your 1 vote is as powerful as the vote of Usina Gerard, who is a millionaire. Okay? So voting by show of hands, all are equal. Everybody has 1 vote. However, voting by poll, that is now where you know who is the guy with the more votes. Voting by poll, you vote on the basis of the shares held. So the person who has more shares has more votes. and he can decide on how he's going to vote. Okay? So he has 50 shares. He can decide he's going to vote 10 shares yes and 3 shares no. He wants to make sure that whichever side will win, he was part of that decision. Okay? So who decides when we can vote by poll? Voting by poll is quite unfair, but it is also fair in one way. A person who has more shares in the company has a higher risk in case the company fails in its business mission. Yes, the more shares you have, the higher your risk. There are certain investment decisions which can only be made by the majority shareholders. Okay. Now, the person to decide that for this one we can vote only. The chairman is going to say now, because of this type of decision, let us look at voting by poll. Alternatively, at least 5 members in the meeting, at least five members. If 5 members can say, no, let us vote by poll, then the chairman will look at that and say yes, or he can say no. Next, a single member who has a 1/10 of the paid up capital of the company. A single member who has a 1/10. You know, if you have a 1/10 of the paid up capital of the company, you are a very serious investor. You can say, I want us to vote by poll. And the chairman will have to consider and say, sawa, voting by poll. So voting by show of hands is put on the side, and we now start voting by the number of votes. So Peter votes, Mary votes, all of us will vote. But what is going to happen? We are 5 members in our company. Mary has 5 votes, Peter has 5 votes, Jonas has 1 vote, and then Rukundo has 40 votes. Whatever we do, if Rukundo decides to vote by poll, Rukundo has won. And the fairness of this is that in case of any risk, Rukundo has a higher risk. But this must be allowed by the chairman. After Rukundo says, I want us to vote by poll, the chairman must look at that request and see how it is justified. And then he will allow. Okay. So just remember, examiner will ask you, what is voting? Voting is the making of a decision by members in a general meeting so that a resolution is passed. Making of a decision by members so that a resolution is passed. And this voting is what? Either by show of hands or by poll. Okay. Next, minutes. Minutes. Minutes, this is simply a record of what is happening. Okay, this is recording. Recording what has been said and done. And done, my friend, and done. Which means it is not only writing down that, oh, Peter said we can pass a vote. Mary said we don't want. Jonas said thank you. It also includes any action that was made. That after Peter said he does not like the investment in Musanze, he threw a book at the chairman. Anything that you did, he threw a book at the chairman. He went out of the meeting hall shouting. Any reaction, any action, it must be recorded. Why? Because it will be used in case somebody goes to court to complain. We must have that evidence. That after the chairman said, we will have a new project in Musanze, member number 5, Wamaria, was not happy. She threw a book at the chairman. Member number 20 started fighting. You have to put that information in the minutes. And who is putting that information? The company secretary. This information must be accurate. It must be recorded, and it will be registered at the registrar's office. It must be there for purposes of what? Evidence. Somebody might want to go to court. We need to know the evidence. Once the minutes have been signed, have been written by the company secretary, they must be signed by the chairman. When the chairman signs, now he confirms. Yes.
What is GBM?
General meeting. GM, board meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, and then please don't write this in the examination. This is only for our quick reference.
Yeah.
Board meeting, board meeting, general meeting. Sawa. So,
excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
What is the difference between general meeting and general assembly?
There is no difference. There's no difference. Actually, general meeting is found internationally. Come to Kenya, general meeting. Come to Rwanda, general meeting. And all this idea of general meeting is from the British, is from United Kingdom. The company law that we are applying in Rwanda, in Kenya, is actually based on the Companies Act and the company law of United Kingdom. Majority of countries in the world, they are applying company law based on United Kingdom. Now, each country then tries to change a few places here and there. So the United Kingdom refers to that group of all the members as general meeting. Rwanda refers to it as general meeting and also general assembly. So the idea of general assembly is the idea of Rwanda. They refer to it general meeting or general assembly. It is the same thing. Okay. Then we will talk about meetings at the end of this chapter. Just at the end of it, we have meetings. The next thing is what? These minutes, they must be kept with the other documents of the company. They must be kept at the registered office. And any member who wants to look at the information, he should have an opportunity to do so. If the company secretary and management refuse you to look at the documents, you can go to court. It is your right. Remember, it is part of what? Individual membership rights. The notes and docs, notices and documents. Okay? Sawa. Then, resolution. Resolution is simply the decision made after voting. So 10 have said yes, 5 have said no. Resolution is the decision. How do we get to the decision? Number one, a resolution is proposed. So I come and I say, I want us to start a new project in Nyamagabe. That is a proposal. A proposal is a suggestion. I want us to start a new project in Nyamagabe. And then we now go to the second part, which is what? Deliberation. Deliberation is what? We start discussions. So Peter says, no, Nyamagabe is not a place where we can do good business. Let us start it at Chigali. Mary says, no, Nyamagabe is good. Nyamagabe is growing. Let us continue. So deliberation is what? Arguments and discussions. And then the third one is, after we have argued and discussed, now the chairman of the meeting will now have the power to do what? To tell us, hey, Matulaje, stop the discussion now. Let us vote. And therefore we vote. After we vote, we pass a decision. That decision is the resolution. The resolution is the final decision after proposal, deliberation, and voting. So the examiner can ask you, what are the stages of a resolution? What are the stages of a resolution? The stages of a resolution are proposal, deliberation, voting. There are 3 stages of a resolution. Proposal, deliberation, voting. Okay? Now, there are 3 types of resolutions. Okay? There are 3 types of resolutions. We have an ordinary resolution. We have a special notice resolution, And then we have a special resolution. Sawa? Okay. There are 3 types of resolutions: ordinary, special notice, and then special. Now, when we talk about ordinary resolution, we are talking about, what is the percentage? 50 plus 1. Okay? Ordinary resolution, we are simply talking about 50 plus 1. What do I mean by 50 plus 1? That if we are 10 members in our company, if 6 say yes, that is ordinary resolution. So anything above half, yeah? Any number above half the total. Any number above half the total is ordinary resolution. Ordinary resolution requires a simple majority. This simple majority is what I am referring to as anything above half. Simple majority means anything above half. If we are 10, 6 is a simple majority. If we are 20, 11 is a simple majority. If we are 40, 21 is a simple majority. Okay? Now, an ordinary resolution, we do not have to tell the members in advance in the notice that we are going to pass an ordinary resolution. No, you don't have to. Ordinary resolution, it can come anytime. We don't have to tell the members, we will discuss this and pass. No, 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 no. It can happen anytime. Okay? When do we have ordinary resolution? 1, if it is in a general meeting, election of directors, we pass an ordinary resolution. Why? Because at the annual meeting, that's the general assembly. This general meeting, it is general assembly if it is the annual general meeting is general assembly. But there are other general meetings. We have extraordinary general meeting. That one is not a general assembly. So election of directors, you require an ordinary resolution. You require a simple majority. Why? Because at every annual general meeting, we are given an opportunity to elect new directors. So it is something that we know. It is just like at the end of the semester, you will do ICPR exams. It is automatic, you know. You don't have to be reminded that, oh, you know what? After finishing the syllabus, you'll do the exam. You know. So general meeting, ordinary resolution. Ordinary resolution will be passed, e.g. election of directors. Number 2, adoption of accounts. At the end of every annual general meeting, we will have to adopt the accounts because the auditor will present his statement, the directors will present their statement, and we'll have to look at the statement and pass a resolution. Declaration of dividend. At the end of every annual general meeting, the directors will tell us if there'll be a dividend declared. Authorizing bonus issue, that one is also ordinary. Increasing share capital, that is also ordinary. So these are things which can happen at any time at the general meeting. Okay? Now, that is ordinary resolution. Let us jump number 2. Let us go to number 3 first of all. And ordinary resolution, we are talking about 21 days. Of course, automatically, we will need 21 days for the notice to attend the meeting. But that resolution, it should not be, we don't have to say it in the notice. We can keep quiet about talking about, we will come to elect directors because it is obvious, it is automatic, we'll come to elect directors. Now, special resolution. Special resolution, we are talking about minimum 75 Okay. Special resolution, minimum 75% of all members. Okay. Ordinary resolution, we are talking about 50 plus 1. So 51 and above. Ordinary 51 and above. Up to 74, going up like that. 51 up to 74. Ordinary resolution. Special resolution 75 and above.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
I'm confused. Go above.
Yes.
Scroll down. You can scroll down.
Down or up?
Up. Up.
Yes.
Stop.
Yes. Yes. Hello.
Yes. When you said
your voice is going away. Your voice is disappearing.
I don't know the issue. Are you hearing me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
It's 50% plus 1, maybe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, ordinary. Yes.
But I have never days of notice.
You have never
seen somewhere the days of notice on ordinary
resolution.
There's no notice should be given to the members.
No, they don't have to give them a notice. The only thing is that because it will be in a meeting, there should simply be a notice of the meeting. Because we want to have a meeting, we will have notice so that we come to the meeting. Okay?
So you mean you can wake up like today and
No. You know, resolutions have to be passed in a meeting. Whatever type of resolution, it has to be in a meeting.
Yes.
Now, because we want to have a meeting, whether it is ordinary resolution or special resolution, there must be a notice.
Yes.
The notice which we are going to have when we are going to have an ordinary resolution is simply 21 days, because a meeting must have 21 days notice minimum, 21 days notice.
Yes.
Automatically, yes. Now, in that meeting, now, if we are going to pass ordinary resolution, there is no need for us to be given a notice saying that we will pass ordinary resolution. No. But if we are supposed to pass a special resolution, in the notice, we must be told that we will be passing special resolutions. That with ordinary resolution, we will not be told. It will be a surprise. It can be a surprise because these are things which we know will have to come. It's like life and death. We know one day we have to go back home. We'll have to leave this world. So ordinary resolution, we don't have to be told in the notice. Special resolution, we must be given that information that, hey, we will be making special resolution in the 21 days notice. So both ordinary and special, we have 21, but in special, they must tell us in that notice that we will be passing special resolutions. In that notice of the ordinary, they don't have to tell us we'll be passing ordinary resolution because it is automatic. It is the annual general meeting. Some director will go home, or we might decide some director does not go home. The accounts will be read by the auditor. So ordinary, it is the normal things which may or may not happen. We don't have to be informed, even though we will have 21 days because the law says a notice, whatever it is, minimum 21 days. I hope my friend has understood. We'll talk about it in detail in a few minutes. And then Special resolution, forget about special notice first. Special resolution, we're talking about 75% of all members, okay? And special resolution, of course, we must have the 21 days notice. We must be told, and here, this is what you are saying, yes? We must be told in that notice, 21 days notice, that we are going to make, to pass special resolution. So in that notice we are getting, in that notice we are going to get the proxy form. It must also be written that, and we will be passing special resolution on ABCD. In the notice for ordinary resolution, they don't have to tell us that we'll be passing ordinary resolution on anything. They will just tell us something else. The notice, this is what, the notice to pass that resolution must be given to us in advance. So we must be told in advance that we will be intending to pass a special resolution. Okay? So it must be told to us in advance. But with the ordinary resolution, we don't need it. Okay? Now, when we have this, if we are going to alter the articles of association, we must get special resolution. If we want to change the object clause, special resolution. Changing them, converting PLC to PBT or PBT to PLC. So this is about special resolution, is about fundamental changes. Okay? Take it like this. It concerns fundamental changes in the company. That is about what? The special resolution. Fundamental changes. We want to change the articles. Fundamental changes. We want to convert PVC, private to public. Fundamental changes. But ordinary is about the ordinary things. We want to remove a director and bring another. We want to remove an auditor and bring another. It always happens at the end of the annual general meeting. We want to create reserve capital. We want to reduce capital. We want to wind up the company. Fundamental, important, very serious things. We need what? Special resolution. Okay? Very serious changes in the company, special resolution. Minimum 75%. Ordinary things in the company, like removing, changing the director at the end of the annual general meeting, changing the auditor at the end of the annual general meeting, adopting the accounts at the end of the annual general meeting. Those are ordinary things. Ordinary resolution, 50+1. And then at the end, we have this other one. Resolution requiring special notice. This one, resolution requiring special notice, also known as a special notice resolution. My friend, this one is only for 3 things. Only 3 things. Resolution requiring special notice, again, we talk about 75% and above, but then it is about what? 28 days notice. Okay? Resolution requiring special notice, 28 days notice. Okay? But if members agree, we can have 21 days. Otherwise, 28 days. Otherwise, 28 days. This one will happen in case we want to remove a director or an auditor from office before the end of their term. Okay? Director Peter still has 6 months before the end of his term, because the annual general meeting will be at the end of 6 months. We have gone through 6 months. We are remaining with 6 months, and then we have our annual general meeting. So if we want to remove Director Peter, we can just sit and wait. Let us just wait. At the end of the annual general meeting, automatically, ordinary resolution, we now want to change the director. He has done 1 year. I think we should get another. Automatically, ordinary resolution will remove him. But now, it is possible that Director Peter is misbehaving and we just don't want him. We cannot wait until the end of the annual general meeting. We want to remove him as soon as possible. If we want to remove him before the end of that fiscal, the end of that 1 year, we'll have to give 28 days notice. If you want to remove an auditor before the end of that financial year, we have to give her 28 days notice. Why do we give the 28 days notice? For simple reasons. Principles of natural justice. We are going to see this when talking about the directors. A director and an auditor cannot be removed from office before the end of their term unless the person who wants them to be removed gives a notice to the board of directors and tells the board, I want Director Peter to be removed from office because, number one, Director Peter embezzled 100 million from our company, and this is the evidence. Number two, Director Peter does not attend duty, and this is the evidence. Number three, Director Peter has done ABCD, and this is the evidence. And you give that notice for removal of the director to the board. That notice of removal of the director to the board then gives the same notice to that director, and it gives that director how many? 10 days. Okay? It gives that director 10 days to reply. Meanwhile, there will be 28 days in total. 28 days in total. The moment I give this notice, to the board must circulate the same notice to the Batulaje and say that member number 147, Peter, wants Director John to be removed from office. We shall be holding an extraordinary general meeting in the next 28 days. So the board is giving what? A notice to the Batulaje. We shall be holding an extraordinary general meeting within the next 28 days. The agenda is removal of Director Peter. The allegations are this. Remember, the agenda must give you the things we are going to discuss. The allegations are Director Peter embezzled 100 million pounds from our company. The evidence is 1, 2, 3, 4. Another point, Director Peter does not attend duty. The evidence is 4, 5, 6, 7. So this 28 days notice is given to the Batulaje. So we know, I am in Nyamagabe, you are in Rwamagana, the other guy is in Kayonza. We already know that 28 days from today, we will go to a meeting in Ichigali, and the agenda is what? Removal of Director Jonas. And the grounds are 1, 2, 3, 4. 28 days. Sivyo. At the same time, the board has given that Director Peter the notice telling him that Director Peter, member number 47, that is Wamaria, wants you to be removed, and the allegations are ABCD. Can you respond to the board within a maximum of 10 days? So the director is given 10 days. The Batulaje are given 28 days. Okay? So within 10 days, this guy should respond to the board. Once he responds to the board gets a copy of that response and sends to the Batulaje. All of us will receive it. Remember, it is still within what? 28 days. That is the reason why the period is long. So this man or lady responds, and the Batulaje are given that response so that we can see how is this person defending? Oh, he did not do this, he did that, ABCD, blah. Okay, sawa. And we are still waiting. Time is running. After the 28 days, we now attend the meeting. We've been given a notice. We attend the meeting. This director, or if it was an auditor, comes to the meeting, and apart from the defense which he had written and we have received, he or she is now given an opportunity to come and explain more and to answer questions if he has to answer questions in front of us in the general meeting. After the lady or gentleman answers questions, then what happens? A resolution will be passed. And what did we say about resolutions? Proposal, deliberation, and then voting. Yes, she has convinced us. Let us accept. Let us vote. 10 want her to remain. 3 want her to go. She remains. Let us. She goes. So it depends on the vote that will be made. And that is simply about what? Resolution requiring special notice. Special notice is minimum 28 days, my friend. Removal of a director or removal of an auditor before their term ends. They must be given an opportunity to know why do you want them to go. They must be given an opportunity to write their defense. It comes to the board circulates to the members, and then there is a meeting, and the members then pass a resolution. Then the last part where this resolution is also made is when we want to reappoint an overage director. If we want to reappoint an overage director, the Companies Act 2021 does not give the maximum age of a director. The Companies Act 2018 and the Companies Act 2009, they were giving maximum age as 75. The current Companies Act 2021 does not give maximum age. Okay? So even if you are 70, you can still be director. Even if you are 90 and we like you, you can still be a director. Even if you are 300 years, if it is possible, and we like you, you can still be director. Unless our articles of association specify that maximum age of a director in Company Alpha will be 60 years, 70 years, 73 years. If we write in our articles, that will be the maximum age. Therefore, if in our articles we have a maximum age, say maximum age is 72 years, and Director Peter, we have attended the annual general meeting today. Director Peter is 71 years. Director Peter is 71 years. 71 years, 4 months. He's 71 years, 4 months. And we have just finished our annual general meeting. So he's still qualified. But now we know by the time we go for the next annual meeting, Director Peter will be more than 72 years. He'll be 72 years and several months. So after this annual general meeting, in the next few months, before Director Peter becomes 72, we can give a resolution requiring special notice, call the Baturage, and we tell them that, you know what, Director Peter will soon be above 72. We want to extend his period in office because he is a good director. We want him to continue in office even though he will be more than 72. Then the members can vote. Yes, let us let him continue. So my friends, just remember, resolution requiring special notice, it comes only for 3 reasons. Removing director, removing auditor before their time ends, and then appointing an overage director. The period of 28 days is for purposes of letting this officer give his explanation, letting the members read the explanation, and then letting the members vote.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Like if those incorporation documents specify something,
yes,
and you want to do something in the contrary with it, you are first required to do what? To amend.
Yes, that you want to do something, but it is against the articles of association.
Yes.
So the only thing you can do is, first of all, amend the articles, yes, and then do that.
So my question was,
yes,
as here you said the
reappointment.
Is that meeting the meeting you are going to have to have? Is it going to be a association?
Is it going to be?
Is it going to be reappointing that old?
Yes.
Changing the.
No, our articles already, our articles say that a director cannot go beyond 72 years. So our articles already say that.
Yes.
Now, Director John is a very good director, but he is now going beyond 72. So we will not have to change our articles. No, we don't change the articles because this reappointment of the overage director is only for Director John. Maybe next time we will have Director Mary, and Director Mary will not be a good one to go beyond 72. So this one is just an exception to a particular director. So the articles don't have to be changed. What is going to happen is, because this is going to be through a special resolution, there'll be no problem. It will be minuted. It will be in minutes. Okay. And this person will continue.
Okay.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, just remember that we are saying we have ordinary resolution, 50 plus 1. Ordinary resolution, more than half ordinary resolution. Special resolution, 75% and above. Ordinary resolution is for ordinary things which must happen in the general meeting. Election of director, adoption of accounts, declaration of dividend, normal things will happen. Special resolution, this is about fundamental changes in the company, very important changes in the company. We want to change the articles, we want to change the objects, change the company name from PVT to PLC or PLC to PVT. Very important changes, special resolution, 75%. And then the other one is resolution requiring special notice, removal of director, removal of auditor before their term, and then reappointment of overage director. 1 minute. Yes, please.
I have a question about B and C.
B and C of which one? Yes.
Resolution requiring a special notice and then a special resolution. What are the difference?
Special resolution is 21 days. Special resolution is 21 days notice. It must be 21 days notice. Number 2, special resolution is for fundamental changes. For this, if we want to do this in our company, we require special resolution. Changing our articles, changing the objects, private to public, and we must register this. We must register it with the registrar of companies. Special resolution. Resolution requiring special notice is 28 days. 28 days, not 21 days. Resolution requiring special notice is only for 3 things. Removals. Removal of director, removal of auditor before their term ends, and then reappointment of director. Only those 3 things. That is the difference. So this one, resolution requiring special notice, this one, we may not have it in our company for a very long time. We may not have it. If we don't want to remove a director before the term, if we don't want to remove an auditor before the term, if we don't want to reappoint an overage director, we are not going to have a resolution requiring special notice. We will not have it. So in the lifetime of a company, you may find that the company has never had this resolution because they have never wanted to remove a director, they have never wanted to remove an auditor, they have never wanted to reappoint an overage director. But this other one, special resolution, it happens every time in a company. Special resolution, it will always happen because as we continue in business, we will always want to alter our articles because we want to change the objects of the company. We want to create reserve. We want to reduce. So because of the businesses changing and the whatever economic factors, investment policies, we will keep having special resolutions every other time. Ordinary resolutions also, we'll keep having them. But special notice resolution, it can take a very long time before we have it. Okay. Now, just 1 minute. Let me check where. Let me check here. So, briefly, look at this. That we will look at a question. There will be a question we're going to look at, but just before that, let's just understand this. That when we talk about a resolution, when you talk about a resolution is either ordinary or extraordinary. Okay? A resolution is either ordinary or extraordinary.
Please, someone is disturbing.
Here you go.
Girimana Foster.
Conversion of private company. Yes. What about this, Kaisire? Conversion of private topic. Why? What are you asking there? Conversion of a private company into a public company. If we want to change our private company to become a public company, we must pass a special resolution. Special resolution. At least 75% of the members of our company must say, Sawa, we don't want to be private, we now want to be public. Or conversion of our public into private. At least 75% must say, Sawa, we want to move from public into private. And then we follow the other procedures that we'll have to write the what? We'll have to write the statement in lieu of prospectus if we don't want the mafaranga, or we give the prospectus if we want the mafaranga. Now, what we are saying here is this. Forget about this part. Forget about that part. Forget about that one. Just this. A resolution is either ordinary or extraordinary. Okay? Extraordinary means, it means not ordinary. Okay? Now, when you talk about an extraordinary resolution, there are 3 types of that which extraordinary means that which is not ordinary. Extraordinary may be a special resolution. A special resolution is an extraordinary resolution. A qualified resolution is an extraordinary resolution. And then a unanimous resolution is an extraordinary resolution. Briefly, I'll explain this. If you talk about a special resolution is what? 75%. Okay? Special resolution is 75% and above. Qualified resolution is that special resolution which is more than 75%. Okay? So special is 75, qualified is above 75. Usually, qualified will be from 85 and above, depending on the company. In other companies, it can be 90. If it is silent, it is 90. And then unanimous is 100. Tulikumwe. Special ordinary resolution is 50 plus 1. Special resolution is 75. Qualified resolution is from 85 and above, but not 100. Okay? Unanimous is 100%. Unanimous resolution. Unanimous resolution is a resolution where all the members have decided, yes, or decided no. That is a unanimous resolution. Okay? A resolution is a decision which has been made in a company. So if all of us say yes or all of us say no, it is unanimous. And it is as good as a meeting. If we have written it down, answering the company secretary, even though I am in Changugu and I've written yes or I've written no, and I've sent the reply to the company secretary in Nyagatare, all of us have done that. It is unanimous. Unanimous means 100%. Unanimous means 100%, all the members. Ordinary means 50%. Extraordinary is special, qualified, and unanimous, whereby special is 75, qualified is 85, unanimous is 100. So if you are asked about extraordinary, you are simply being asked to give explanation on what is special, what is qualified, what is unanimous. Yes, question?
I have a question, sir.
Yes.
Like you said before,
yes.
You said that a special resolution.
Yes.
Like I want you to try and like connect how
connect
corresponding meetings, because if you say that this resolution is ordinary or extraordinary, you depend on the people who have voted yes.
I do not understand your question.
My question is,
yes,
like when you can scroll up
on the notes.
Yeah.
In the notes?
Yeah, in the notes.
Okay. There. Yes. Ordinary resolution there.
Like dividends or bonus, whatever that is.
Yes.
What if
it is,
all,
yes.
What if all members vote yes?
In which meeting? In on what resolution?
Maybe let's talk about an ordinary meeting.
No problem. Ordinary resolution.
Yes, ordinary resolution.
No problem, no problem.
But for now, the issue I have is that we are in the
your voice is going. Your voice is going. Yes, you are in there.
We are in the meeting, ordinary meeting.
Yes. Where we are, if we are supposed to give make an ordinary resolution.
Yes, and then we vote
100%.
Will it have to automatically change from ordinary to
special to unanimous? No. What you are saying, is these percentages are minimum number required. So even with this one, when you talk about ordinary resolution, 50 plus 1, 50 plus 1, it is the minimum required, which means if we have 55, we are sawa. If we have 51, we are sawa. If we have 92, we are still sawa, because the minimum is 51.
51.
Yeah. And special, if we have 75, sawa. 77, sawa. 79, sawa. So 100, no problem. As long as we have passed that minimum is the problem.
Yes.
Yeah. So even where we need ordinary and then everybody says sawa, no problem.
No
did
problem.
we go above the minimum? Yes, sawa, that is okay. Yeah.
So
let me give you an example.
Yes.
Elections of Rwanda. Sibyo.
Yes.
Elections of Rwanda, in order for a person to be president, you simply have to have what? 50 plus 1. Sibyo.
Yes.
Yeah, more than half. Sibyo. Yes. But now, President Kagame did not just get 50 plus 1, Kagame gets 99%, which means, has he passed the minimum? Yes. And he has passed it with flying colors. So it is the minimum that we are now looking at.
Okay.
Anything above it is sour. Minimum is what we are looking at. If it would be ordinary resolution and then they are 49, now we go to court. Or if it is special resolution and then they are 55. 55 is more than half. So yes, majority rule, they are more than the minority, but they have not qualified as expected by the articles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I got it.
Sawa. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the position. And I can see the time is up. And I was hearing somebody yawning. You know what is yawning? Somebody was yawning. When you are very tired or very hungry, you start yawning. So I know some of you guys are very tired and hungry also. I think we can stop now. It is 8 o'clock. And then in our Saturday class, we shall look at the types of meeting. If there is something you've not understood, don't worry, ask it. Even if you ask on WhatsApp, I will answer you. There's no problem. So in our next meeting, we look at the types of meetings, very small part, where we look at statutory meeting, we look at the class meeting, annual general meeting, which we also call it a general assembly, extraordinary general meeting, and we also look at constituent ordinary meeting. So we look at the types of meetings, then we look at some questions, then we move to directors. I hope we will manage to finish directors on Saturday. Yes, please.
According to elements of a meeting, come again with 3 elements of quorum.
Quorum. Okay, quorum is the minimum number that we cannot start the meeting. How many are we? The total number, we are 10. Sawa. We cannot start any meeting of our company unless we have a minimum of 4. So we can write in our articles that if we are less than 4, we cannot start. Okay. If we are 4 and above, we can start. That is what quorum is. The minimum number of people who can make us start the business.
Okay.
Yeah, that is quorum. And quorum, we are the ones who will write in the articles what is our quorum. If we don't write in our articles what is our quorum, then the Companies Act says quorum is 2. Okay? If we want, we should write in our articles. Public companies always write the quorum. But if they do not write the quorum, then the Companies Act says quorum is 2. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Okay, welcome. Yes.
In every class.
Yes.
In the class.
Yeah, in every class.
You do record the class.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I try to record, but some of them they break. Some of them they break. When we stop, they break, and also the fluctuation of the, what do you call it? Sometimes it is not clear, but I'm trying to record. I will see how many have been successful.
Okay, you can share with us so that we can continue what you taught.
Yes, I will try. I'll try and do that, because sometimes, like when you talk and then your voice disappears, also on the recording it disappears when I talk sometimes. But let me try and see.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so let us end the class. Let us meet on Saturday. Saturday, 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock, 5:30 to 8:30. Sawa.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, sir.